I found it so funny when Jane's friend asked her if Edward was manipulating her, and Jane is like, well, I don't feel manipulated. Well, baby, you wouldn't. You wouldn't when you dealing with a master manipulator. Child, Edward was manipulating the hell out of her. What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will be reviewing the HBO Max miniseries, The Girl Before, about two women who fall for a mysterious architect after moving into his rental property. Y'all, this is how you do a slow burn. This was so freaking good. I'm so hyped about this. I can't gush about it enough. I felt like this story was so engaging at every turn. The performances, God, they were so good. The acting is top tier. I love David. I can't say his last name. He is always so spectacular. He plays Edward, our attractive, odd, creepy, controlling, and mysterious architect. Somehow he manages to play Edward as cold and eerie, but also played him with such depth and charisma. We have the mystery of who assaulted Emma, who killed Emma, the mystery of Edward and what really happened to his wife and child. The first episode was such a good start in my personal opinion. This was a psychological thriller that followed two timelines seamlessly. This is how it's done. We get parallel stories of two very similar and damaged women, Emma and Jane, who both moved into Edward's house that he built and rents out, but they moved in 3 years apart. Emma moves in with her boyfriend Simon, and Jane moves in as a single woman. Now, Jane ends up becoming obsessed with solving the mystery of what happened to the previous tenant, Emma, and she becomes obsessed with the connection between her and Jane for Edward after she discovers that her, Jane, and Edward's wife all resemble each other in physical appearance. This series is shot so well. The director does so good, and the house is a great backdrop. It's gorgeous and modern and creepy and almost feels supernatural, and it looks really impractical to actually live in. The series has great music, a great style. The dialogue is really good. All of the characters are so interesting and captivating. The Girl Before miniseries is a slow burn, but it is a really good build, and I was really intrigued and I was engaged with the mystery and the story. Each actor pulled me in, and I was deeply invested in what happened to Emma. I really enjoyed how they would play both timelines simultaneously and show us how Edward's interactions with each one mirrored each other. Even when they showed them touring the house and the realtor would ask the couple of questions and then you would see Jane respond, how Edward would literally say the same exact things verbatim to each woman. It was just so seamless. He would give them the exact same gift and take them to the exact same place. So Edward built this house to live in with his wife and his child, who were killed at the site of the house when it was being built, while doing a walkthrough with him. And it ends up being revealed that Edward killed his wife and child accidentally. Upset about the position of a wall, he knocks it down, not knowing that his wife and child are on the other side. Though his business partner, I think Peter was his business partner, tells Jane how Edward caught his wife crying to him the day before her death. And he felt like Edward knew that the wife was going to leave him. Now, they never really confirmed for us whether the death was actually an accident or not. Edward ends up drawn to Emma, who has trauma from a sexual assault and a break-in that she had recently experienced, while Jane's trauma is a stillbirth she recently went through. I was really drawn in by the actress who played Emma. Y'all, oh Lord, Emma was tugging at my heartstrings. That character was so complicated and damaged. The scene where Emma is dancing and simultaneously they're showing flashbacks of her being assaulted. God, that scene was so dynamic and emotional and heartbreaking. It was so good. I can't say nothing but so good. It was so good. Now, as exactly what happened to Emma unfolds and how everyone, including the police, failed her, it really pulls at your heartstrings. And you really understand why Jane feels compelled to save her by solving the mystery of what actually happened to her. Because even the police seem to not care. Now, I love trying to figure out who the bad guy is when I watch stuff. This series points flashing red arrows at Edward, so I knew it was not him. Because anytime the filmmakers are making it really obvious that a character is creepy or suspicious and doing all these things that would cause warning bells to go off, child, that means that typically it is not that character. Now, at first, I was wondering if the killer was whoever the mystery person was that assaulted Emma. But as the story unfolded, I started to see how in the story, Simon and Edward are pretty much painted as polar opposite characters. Simon is cold Edward is cold and detached and controlling, while Simon, on the other hand, is more sensitive and supportive. He tries to be understanding of everything that Emma has gone through with her assault. And even after Emma hurt Simon by breaking up with him, he still shows up to be a shoulder for her. He is understanding and on her side when she finally reveals to him that it was his best friend who assaulted her and not the burglar. Edward and Simon are both manipulative, but Simon comes off way more unassuming. Now, the ending of this series is a bit predictable and cliched. However, I did enjoy watching Simon finally unravel at dinner with Jane. Now, child, that showdown at the end, though, with Jane versus Simon, child, I'm sorry, it was a bit laughable to me. And just not very believable, in my opinion. Now, after Jane finds out who assaulted Emma and who murdered her, we see Edward and Jane at a doctor's office, and Edward tells her, "We will have a baby one day when it is planned, so we can gather she's there to have an abortion." Now, I didn't understand this at all. In any shape, way, or form. Why go into the office and go back to the procedure room just to have the nurse give Edward a note and sneak out and leave? Why call Edward after she fights off and kills Simon instead of calling the police? Jane was annoying me a lot throughout this series, though. She was wrecking my nerves because I felt like there were so many warnings about Edward, but it felt like she just kept ignoring them. Jane just kept trying to rationalize everything Edward did, anything people would tell her about Edward. She even says how everyone who knows Edward seems to think he's a monster. Well, then, girl, don't that tell you something? Edward does not have to be a killer, but he is controlling and he is manipulative. I found it so funny when Jane's friend asked her if Edward was manipulating her, and Jane is like, "Well, I don't feel manipulated." Well, baby, you wouldn't. When you dealing with a master manipulator. Child, Edward was manipulating the hell out of her. Edward is good at what he does. He is not only always in control of himself, he's always in control of his surroundings. He is always in control of you, girl. I was in agreement with the therapist when she tells Jane, "Why risk it? Wouldn't the safest thing be to just walk away?" And that's what I just kept thinking, but she just kept needing proof. Jane tripped me out needing all this proof regarding Edward. I do not need any tangible proof. I don't. If it don't feel right, it ain't right, and I'm out. Like, just trust yourself and your instincts. You know something ain't on the up and up with this guy. When Jane asks Edward if he had a relationship with Emma, and he finally says yes, and her response is, "Why didn't you tell me?" Wait a minute, girl. He didn't just not tell you. He straight up lied to you. Why was that not addressed? Stuff like that was annoying me so bad. Edward was always able to flip-ish on Jane, and she would just swallow it up. He tells her that no matter how brief the relationship, he does not talk about it, right? Because it feels like a betrayal, and it feels like a breach of trust. He does not talk about the people he was in a relationship with, just like he will never talk about Jane. That don't make no sense, though. No, bruh, you lied when she asked, "How well did you know Emma?" You did not have to give intimate details, but it is not a betrayal to say, "Yes, I was in a relationship with this person. Yes, I knew them." So Edward apologizes and says Jane deserves better, and she just says, "Thank you." Girl, are you crazy? But that ending just didn't make any sense to me. There were other ways to write him a letter and leave him. Why did we go through this and go to the doctor? I don't know. I also found it unrealistic when we see Edward in a therapist's office, as Jane suggested. Because Edward believes that he's perfect. He think he's perfect. A man like that would not go to therapy because he don't see anything wrong with himself or the stuff that he does. So what would he be in there for? I was happy that Saul got arrested for his assault on Emma. I would have preferred Simon getting arrested as well. I don't know why movies and series like this always end with the perpetrator getting killed in some showdown. Is that supposed to be like the ultimate justice? Because I'd rather them go to jail, child. I'd rather them live and suffer and think about what it is that they did, not just die and then the issue's just over for them. Now, at the very end, I switched up and started suspecting Edward. He just was too... Y'all, I was suspecting Simon the entire time, but then after he died, when Jane calls Edward and he tells her to lie to the police and how she could go on trial for manslaughter, it just felt like more of his manipulation. And I started spiraling down this conspiracy land like, wait, did Edward set all this ish up? Did he send Simon over here to kill her? I don't know, y'all. Edward is just so manipulative. So I started being like, hold on now. I hated having to see Emma get killed, y'all. I hated that her story ended the way that it did. When she is in her therapist's office and Emma says, "I have messed everything up, haven't I?" And the therapist tells her, "No, you survived." Child, I teared up. I ain't cried, but I teared up. It was wailing. I teared up quite a few times during this series. The way the detective treated Emma pissed me off so bad. And it was sick. He never gives a crap about Emma. He only cared about his case and getting the bad guy that he needed. Every time Emma tried to reach out to him for help, and he would just dismiss her and just be evil. Man, it made me so angry and so sad. So many of the men in this story are manipulative. Edward, Simon, the cop. The cop was so freaking manipulative, most notably when Emma does not want to do the lineup. When he tells her, "Oh, he'll plead guilty and this will all be over," you know good and dang on well. But he didn't care anything about the victim. He just wanted to make his case. Like, that was pretty much it. She was just a means to an end. I liked how they unraveled Emma's rape story. The actress was really amazing. All the actors were really. I really cared for Emma's character. The story is just so gripping and easy to follow. This series is many things, but it all flows so well. The main plot and all the subplots, they don't feel overpowering or distracting. They are all woven together very seamlessly, in my opinion. I really liked how they would display on the screen a different question from the tenant questionnaire. And it seemed to be as kind of a benchmark or chapter mark. I like that. When Jane tells the therapist, it does not matter how pretty and empty your surroundings are if you are still messed up inside, because she thought that being in that house would change things for her. That was it, y'all. That was it. Child, I was crying. Wasn't no more just tearing up, child. I was straight up crying. That hurt my heart. That hurt my heart for Emma. Now, they end up showing us a scene of the realtor showing the house to prospective tenant. Now, we do not get to see the prospective tenant, but I think it would have been so great if we did and they looked like Jane and Emma. I would have loved that. I was really disappointed that there were only 4 episodes, y'all. The last episode ended and literally I was like, wait, that's it? This was so brilliant and I wanted more. Like, I wanted there to be more. This was just so good, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you watched until the end. If you like my content, please make sure you support my channel by hitting that subscribe button, liking this video, commenting down below. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.